Not long after you wake up tonight, Gregory knocks on the door of your apartment. Hey, I came to pick you up. Miss Langley wants to see you. Oh yeah, this is her first time seeing Gregory. I've been watching some of Strange Adventures Let's Play just to see what he does. And I didn't know you could see Gregory a lot earlier than this. Which is cool. Those last 2 nights were nice. I had freedom, initiative. Good while it lasted, I guess. He smiles apologetically. Don't shoot the messenger. Car's waiting. Shall we? You wrestle with the same thought as a few nights ago. Maybe you should just leave? Disappear? Or let Sophie find someone else to employ? But then you remember that anarch thug being cut down by Kadir, and how close you were to the same fate not even a week ago. And that it might still happen if you step out of line. You follow suit. As with your previous visit here, Sophie seems not entirely present when you enter. Her eyes are locked to one of the paintings in the room. We're pretty sure it's been here before, but she's behaving as if she's seeing it for the first time in her life, entirely entranced. Gregory clears his throat. Sophie turns to the both of you, a bit of irritation in her countenance, which soon gives way to a warm, pleasant smile. You're here. Excellent. Thank you, Gregory. Her driver leaves, and she turns her attention to you. I hope you had a good few nights and made some new acquaintances, but I have to say I'm happy to see you, Lamar. Thank you for coming. The change of mood in the room was so sudden and startling. It makes you reconsider the true power of vampiric charisma. Rationally, you know you're being manipulated, but you don't even care. Her eyes, her emotions, her entire body language all feel 100% genuine and expressing legitimate interest in you and your well-being. I have a request for you this night. I need you to find somebody for me and make a delivery. She points to the statue on the side of the apartment. You notice a plain-looking pen drive lying on the corner, right next to where the inanimate archer's bow touches the pedestal. I was thinking, what's like a pen drive? Oh, a thumb drive. I'm a fool. The man you'll be looking for calls himself Kaiser. For the Legion! He has eyes and ears all around New York, and it's rare for something to happen here without his knowledge. I'll need you to take this memory stick and bring it to him. In exchange, he will give you an address, which I need to know as soon as possible. You're about to ask what's on the drive, but Sophie proves to be one step ahead of you. Oh, don't worry about the contents. They're encrypted. A precaution if the data falls into the wrong hands. But it won't, yes? She gives you a smile that just a handful of nights ago would have made you feel like melting. Oh, and Lamar, Kaiser is a Nosferatu, the twisted, deformed lineage of kindred. He is old, and his age made him even more paranoid than others of his clan tend to be. He holds many havens and changes them often. From what I have gathered, him or one of his servants should be found at the park on Coney Island tonight. You'll have to identify them somehow. I'm told the Kaiser has spent many of his nights these past few years being driven around the city in a black limo. Maybe keep your eyes open for it. That smile again, but much shorter. Anything more you can tell me about Kaiser? He's been here a long time. About as long as I have. He got into a lot of trouble for trading information to both the Anarchs and the Camarilla before, but ultimately got away with it scot-free. Kaiser's web of information proved to be strong enough to shield him from the consequences of playing both sides. Some say it's the best proof of his abilities. In any case, be careful when talking to him. He's very particular about everyone's etiquette except his own. Good night, and good luck. She flashes one last smile at you, and turns back to the painting, clearly done with the conversation. You pocket the memory stick and head out towards Coney Island. Takes you the better part of an hour to reach the lights and sounds of the Coley Island amusement park from the city. The drive is almost pleasant at this time of night. Thank God for Belt Parkway. There's plenty of people here tonight, but nobody who stands out as a traveling purveyor of secrets. Then again, if they did stand out, it would have been kind of pointless, right? Nothing to do but figure out the right approach. Open your senses. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. You take a moment to focus and try to pick up any details that would help you with locating Kaiser. Initially, the noise of the nearby amusement park floods your mind and stuns you momentarily. A child's crying, the loud bang of a car door closing, the bright old-school logo of the Cyclone roller coaster all overload your senses, and you have to lean on a nearby booth to stand upright. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. I'm a buffoon. You get it under control. Well, I don't think Lamar would have thought of it either, so... Taking in the smells and sights, looking for something, anything to point you in the right direction. A man talking on his phone, a snippet of the conversation. Cleaned the, red stuff in the garage. Tidied up in general. Limo will fit for sure. Come on, don't be like that, boss. I didn't mean... Yes, I know. I am. It's a privilege, Mr. Kaiser. Kaiser! The call ends. The man tucks the phone away. It's a fancy model. Doesn't look like anything readily available on the market. Doesn't fit the guy's rugged looks at all. He notices you. Hey, what you looking at, huh? Just the Eh? Oh, I don't know the name. That's weird. Skip the dialogue. He's a terrible liar. Clearly full of shit. Oh, crap! Pressed enter too early. Listen, I was sent here by Sophie Langley. She has something for Kaiser. I need to contact him and pass it on. Nothing more to it. Don't know her. I told you already, I don't know who Kaiser is either. He sees the doubt in your face. Fuck it. Stay right there. He produces his phone. It's a fancy model. Doesn't look like anything readily available on the market. Unlocks it, picks a number. 2 tones go by. A voice on the other side. Sorry to bother you again, boss. Yeah, I know how much you need your alone time. Sounds very nice. There's somebody here who wants to see you. They're with... Langley? Yeah, Sophie Langley. A string of loud obscenities fills the phone. The man winces and pushes it away from his ear. Then the call stops. Almost immediately, a chime, the Count's laugh from Sesame Street, wow, announces an instant message sent to the phone. I like this guy. He's my favorite character. Best character in the game. He's on his way. Don't go anywhere. The inside of the limo used to be a luxury lounge, the kind with a stripper pole and a bar full of alcohol, but it has none of that currently. Instead, there are monitors and consoles. Dozens of displays, each one showing something different. Surveillance, camera footage, stock market quotes, television news, emails, tweets, silent movies, lo-fi footage of a gory torture session. You wonder if the limo's owner could focus on anything when surrounded by all this visual noise, and then realize there's nobody there. Or is there? He blinks into existence on a leather-covered couch, attempting to maintain something that approximates a regal presence. You're 100% sure that's Kaiser. I saw the light moving. I was like, oh, is that him obfuscating? Oh, that was so scary. Surrounded by dimmed computer screen lights, his features are even more ghastly than you imagined. All sharp angles of twisted bone, severed flesh, and crooked teeth. He bears them in an awful parody of a smile. The door closes behind you. So, that was the good white day tells me you're Sophie Langley. Sophie Langley sent you, huh? I give it too many people the Boston accent. That you've got something for me? You reluctantly pull the flash drive from your pocket and slowly pass it to Kaiser. He plugs it into a USB port in the arm of his chair and displays the data on one of the screens that happens to be turned away from you. It takes him about a minute to access the data.
Who do you people think I am? Seen this footage a week ago.
He plugs the pen drive out and throws it back at you in disgust.
Tell Sophie the deal's off. She wants her address, she gives me something else.
No, I'm not using presents. I cooked lava, I'm hungry. Dang it. Come on, give me a break. How could we have known you've already seen this material? He gives you a patronizing look.
Kid, you're new here, so I'll pretend I've heard that. You want your address, you're gonna have to work for it. I got just the idea. Yeah, something appropriate for an eager fledgling like yourself. More on that soon. Stay tuned.
I hate him.
Now get the fuck out.
You're pretty sure you're done here. You get out, close the door behind you, and the car immediately starts backing up. The opaque window slides by you, and soon the limo is on its way out. Kaiser's lackey is now nowhere to be seen, so you make your way to your car and drive back, wondering what tomorrow brings. Okay, I still got time. I'm gonna go check on Hope. I want to... Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to D'Angelo again, just to be safe. 'Cause he's my buddy, my pal. You make your way through the now familiar, rusty maze of the grain terminal, and up the stairs to D'Angelo's office. This time, however, you find the room firmly locked. There's a note pinned to the door. You rip it off and scan the crooked lettering. There's been another one. At the scene now. Come to Bed Street, corner of Pulaski and Garvey, ASAP. Looks like D'Angelo could use your help. Better get going. Heck yeah, let's go. More murder. This is just Disco Elysium with vampires. Except I'm Lieutenant Kim. I'm him now. As you approach the address D'Angelo gave you, a squad car passes you by, sirens blaring. Following it, you make a turn onto Del Cabo Avenue and Pulaski Street. Sure enough, the street is awash with red light, and the 4 or so police cars parked on the nearest corner next to an ambulance confirm that you're in the right place. You move closer to what appear to be the New York's finest convention, looking around in the hope of spotting a familiar, if not altogether pleasant face. No such luck. Judas knows her out your lineage, D'Angelo's nowhere to be seen. You stop at the sidewalk across the street, trying not to draw attention to yourself. All of a sudden, one of the cops standing by the entrance to the building looks straight at you. Gives you a double take, and you instinctively look away. Bad move, you think to yourself, as you notice him making his way towards you. Oh wait, and nothing to hide. Come on, copper. Not allowing panic to set in, you stand your ground, doing your best ordinary citizen impression. The cop waddles across the street towards you, your sense of authority putting that extra spring in his step. You try to remain calm, even as he puts his hands on his holster. Shit. You can't help but mouth the word. This is about to get messy. Suddenly, he stops, as if instinctively realizing he was just inches away from a grisly demise. He waves at you, dismissively, yells in a thick Brooklyn accent. Hey! There's an active crime scene! Be on your way! Relieved, but trying not to show it, you put on your grumpy New Yorker face and start to walk away. As you make your way past a dark alleyway, someone grabs you by the arm and pulls you into the shadows. If the smell of the cigar and cheap cologne didn't give him away, the gravelly voice sure does. Nice save. I done to show your face around in the first place, but still. Come on, parked around the corner. Before you know it, you're sitting in the passenger seat of a busted old sedan parked half a block away, giving you a nice view of the police gathering. Feeding opportunity. We can take him. We can take him, no sweat. See, there's only 2 of them. That we know of. Might be more inside. I don't know, kid. I can handle whiskey, but this seems downright stupid. Yeah, you're probably right. Better safe than sorry. Hey, how about you do your shadowy, skulky thing? Maybe you could find some way to let me in from the inside? Shadowy, skulky thing. Jeez, kid. Childish phrasing aside, it's as good an approach as any, I guess. Without another word, he gets out of the car and heads for a nearby back alley. You watch in silence as he disappears into the shadows. A minute passes, then another one, and another. You begin to worry. What if there were more cops inside? What if your moldy partner has gotten himself in trouble? Oh, we're getting later into the game. There's more typos. Suddenly, a shadowy silhouette appears in one of the windows on the second floor. Looks like he made it after all. At least you hope it's him. The shadow waves at you and points to the corner of the building, opposite the two cops. You get out of the car and quietly make your way towards the alley. Sure enough, you find that a ladder leading to a fire escape has been conveniently dropped for you. Good work, D, you mumble to yourself as you climb to the second floor. Finding the crime scene proves easy enough. You just follow the yellow police tape, and before you know it, you're standing in the middle of what used to be someone's living room. The place is being completely trashed. Knocked over furniture, shattered glass, the works. Looking around, you notice a sign scribbled on a nearby wall. It reads, "His gift, our fate." You're no expert in typography, but the crooked letters look similar to the one you saw back in Red Hook. Sure enough, there is very little in terms of blood, save for the occasional stain that's bound to end up on the carpet once you toss someone through a glass coffee table. D'Angelo leans against the doorway. He seems lost in his thoughts, sucking on his cigar compulsively and mumbling to himself. You lean in a bit, trying not to make it obvious you're listening in. You manage to get to the last few lines of his monologue. Night's been kind to them so far, but the questions keep piling on. Now they found themselves amidst the wreckage of another life. It's up to them to sift through to the brain and come up with a neat little pile of answers. Suddenly, he tenses up, as if sensing your eyes upon him. Feel free to chip in, kid. Anything catches your eye? Someone sure did a number on this place. That they did. Any more of that thought? The victim was fully conscious. If the killer's kindred, they're not too good at this old vampire shtick. Bingo. No properly fledged vampire would allow themselves to be this sloppy. Damn it, I hate when this is going. Which is? Me being right. About thin blood involvement, I mean. Anyway, looks like we're not getting any more out of this place. No way around it. We gotta see the body. In for a penny, in for a pound. Might as well be prudent. My thoughts exactly. Dustborn have it bad as it is. I'm gonna accuse one of them of breaking the masquerade. I want solid evidence. Rock fucking solid. Luckily for us, I might know someone who will get us an audience with our dearly departed. To your surprise, he pulls out a cell phone. A busted old clamshell. He flips it open and spends a good minute browsing through the contacts, muttering to himself. Finally, he makes the call. Hey, you know who this is? Yeah, that favor you owe me? Time to deliver. Listen, I know you got a fresh one, the murder in bed story. I need to take a look. Yes, now. Yeah, you better. With that, he hangs up and gives you his trademark wry smile. Wait, aren't cell phones an issue for the cammie? Only if you tell them. Look, kid, I don't use it really willy-nilly, alright? It's for special occasions. Don't always have time to throw fucking rocks at windows. Can you live with that? Should I worry about being sent to the principal's office? Relax, D. I'm not gonna rat on you. He shoots you a smile. For some reason, it seems less crooked than usual. I don't need a coterie. I just want to hang out with D'Angelo. Oh, he's so much fun. I ship it. I ship it. Good to know, kid. Anyway, looks like my guy's gonna come through. Next stop, Kings County. Kings County, the bleeding heart of Brooklyn. It's beating as hard as ever, with ambulance after ambulance bringing in sick and wounded New Yorkers to be pumped through the tight arteries of the healthcare system. It's a dangerous place for a kindred to show their face, incessantly crowded and full of people who specialize in noticing all sort of physical afflictions, especially the sort that makes up the very essence of a vampire's existence. For instance, death. Instead, you follow D'Angelo to a relatively quiet part of the underground parking lot that's closest to your current point of interest, the Kings County Morgue. Having found yourself a convenient and suitably unlit spot near the hospital wall, you wait patiently for D'Angelo's contact to appear. Every now and then, you glance over at the undead gumshoe, as if to make sure his moldy mug isn't showing any signs of worry. It doesn't, or at least he's very good at hiding it. Finally, after 30 minutes or so, a lone figure emerges from a side entrance. As the human-shaped shadow walks by, you are quick to recognize him as the EMT you saw back at the murder site. Clearly nervous, the 20-something-year-old redhead can't seem to help but look back, making sure no one is following him. Finally, he stops and lights up a cigarette. Without even looking in your direction, he takes a puff and exclaims, seemingly to no one in particular, "Room 112. You got 20 minutes." D'Angelo speaks without looking at you. "That's a cue." You follow the fanged detective through the same door the EMT walked out of. Luckily, this wing of the hospital seems unusually empty. Still, the confidence with which D'Angelo makes his way through the white and green corridors make it clear. He's been here before. Finally, he stops in front of one of the doors. Room 112. That's your stop. The room is small, with only one oversized freezer by the wall and a single slab mounted in its center. Sure enough, the body of a middle-aged man is splayed out on its steel surface. Even for a dead man, he seems unnaturally pale. Extreme blood loss will do that to you. Try as you might, you can't help but look at the man's face, his features twisted in abject horror. This was not a peaceful death. Looking closely, you notice 2 small punctures on the victim's neck. If ever there was a clearer sign of a vampire attack, you're yet to see it. Looking over to D'Angelo, you notice his lips moving in a familiar motion. He's narrating again. "Mom, the detective's narrating again." God, the look on his face. It's like nightmare fuel. "No kidding. Which means he was fully wet. All the way through. He knew he was dying. Which, combined with the blood loss and the teeth marks on his neck, confirms our hypothesis. We have a thin blood serial on our hands. Fuck." As if on cue, the door swings open. A tired-looking man with a stethoscope around his neck walks in. With his eyes fixed on the clipboard, he doesn't appear to notice you. Yet. "I'm hungry." Letting your instincts take over, you pounce on the unsuspecting doctor, plunging your fangs into his aorta. The precious liquid tastes sickeningly sweet, making you feel a bit lightheaded. It appears the good doctor has been getting high on his own supply. Oh, this was a bad idea. It takes you a moment to get your fill. When you're finally done, you immediately feel D'Angelo's eyes upon you. You start coming up with an excuse, but he just smirks. "You're quick, kid, I'll give you that. Beat me to it by a pube." "Now come on, let's get out of here. Time to pay our dear Primogen another visit." Albert Larson's home looks about the same as last time. No added security, no angry dogs prowling the yard. It appears that the thin-blood Primogen would rather risk another visit from his old pal D'Angelo than to arouse the suspicion of his family and neighbors. Which is good, considering that's what he's about to get. Sure enough, the light in Larson's study is on, and you even catch a glimpse of the man himself shuffling around the room. You look over to D'Angelo, wondering how you're going to get Larson's attention this time. Not a single word, D'Angelo walks over to a nearby street lamp and leans against it, making sure he's visible to any and all who happen to look. Looks like time for subtlety is over. Only takes a couple minutes for Larson to take notice. You see him lean against the window and storm out of the room. In mere seconds, he's out in front and in D'Angelo's face. Listen to me, you moldy fuck. I've had just about enough of your shit. You want to pester me, fine, but leave my family out of it. For a moment, D'Angelo just stands there, motionless, allowing Larson to get his frustrations out. Suddenly, he grabs the thin blood by the collar, lifts him off the ground, and smacks his back against the lamppost. Are you finished? All right. Now you listen to me, and listen good. You think I'm enjoying this? You think I like to be jerked around? You think I got nothing better to do than hang around this little puppet theater you made for yourself? Now, either you give me a lead I can follow, or I'll stop remembering things you'd rather forget. For the first time since you met him, Larson looks speechless. His eyes wide with fear, he could only mutter under his breath. You wouldn't dare. Try me. Cue awkward silence. You stand there, shifting your eyes from one vampire to the other, because it's time to either press the advantage or play the good cop. Okay, so I do need a second to think about this, so it's definitely not that third one. I think playing good cop is probably what Lamar wants to do. Just because, it's probably what he's seen on TV, so he's gonna play good cop. Take it easy, D'Angelo. Let's not make a scene. Why not? I like making a scene. It's not like we're getting shit done. Might as well make a show of it. If you want my help, put me the fuck down. With his feet back on the ground, Larson straightened his collar in a faint attempt at preserving some shred of dignity. There's a place in Manhattan, Lower East Side, one of the few places in the city where my people could find shelter. Yeah, I know it. If you go there right now, you might find what you're looking for. D'Angelo stares at him for a moment, just long enough to make it uncomfortable. We'd better. Finally, D'Angelo loosens his grip. You both watch Larson limp back to his house, looking back over his shoulder, like he's gonna tell the teacher on you. You look to your partner, meaning to ask what the whole things you'd rather forget deal was. As if sensing your curiosity, D'Angelo cuts in with a preemptive mutter. Come on. We got what we came for.